A book so dangerous it sent men to the stake, ignited wars, and toppled empires, yet it sits on shelves worldwide today. The Catholic Church once locked it away in a dead language, burning copies and hunting translators to keep its words silent. That book was the Bible, and its escape from chains reshaped everything: faith, power, even the way people read. Its story begins centuries ago in a time when knowledge belonged to the few. Back then, the Bible existed as a collection of sacred writings carefully guarded by the Catholic Church. Most copies were written in Latin, known as the Latin Vulgate, a language only priests and educated elites could understand. Scribes spent months, sometimes years, copying each page by hand on parchment, making every Bible rare and costly. Ordinary people, farmers, bakers, weavers, had no access to these texts. They depended entirely on priests to hear and interpret the scriptures during Mass. The Church designed it this way, ensuring that religious knowledge flowed through their hands alone. For hundreds of years, from the fall of Rome through the Middle Ages, this system held firm. The Bible remained a distant object, its contents a mystery to the masses. That all changed in the 1400s, when a German inventor named Johannes Gutenberg stepped into history. He developed the movable type printing press, a machine that could churn out pages far faster than any scribe. In 1455, Gutenberg completed his first big project, printing about 180 copies of the Bible, still mostly in Latin. These early editions stayed within church walls, but the technology behind them spread quickly. Printers across Europe began experimenting with the press, producing books at a fraction of the old cost. The Bible, once a luxury for bishops and kings, now had the potential to reach beyond the elite. This shift alarmed the church, which saw its control slipping as the press gained traction. The Catholic Church had reason to worry. They had kept the Bible in Latin for centuries to maintain authority over its meaning. If regular people read it in their own languages, they might challenge the priest's teachings, or worse, the church itself. Translation attempts had happened before, but they were small and easily crushed. Now, with the printing press, suppressing the Bible grew harder. The church declared translations into common tongues illegal, branding them heretical. Anyone caught with such a book faced severe consequences. In some regions, like during the Spanish Inquisition, owning a non-Latin Bible could lead to imprisonment or execution. The stakes were high, and the church fought fiercely to keep the text forbidden to the masses. One man defied this ban with everything he had: William Tyndale. In the 1520s, this English scholar set out to translate the Bible into English, believing everyone deserved to read it. He worked in secret, knowing the church would come for him. England's rulers, loyal to Catholic doctrine, outlawed his project. They seized and burned every copy they found, filling the air with the smoke of his words. Tyndale fled to Europe, moving from city to city to evade capture. He finished his New Testament in 1526, smuggling copies back to England through merchants and underground networks. The church caught up with him in 1536 near Brussels. Authorities arrested him, tried him for heresy, and sentenced him to death. They strangled him, then burned his body at the stake. Yet Tyndale's translation lived on, seeding English Bibles for generations. His sacrifice showed how far the church would go to stop the Bible's spread and how unstoppable it had become. While Tyndale's work smoldered, another figure emerged to fan the flames: Martin Luther. This German monk grew furious with the church's corruption, like selling indulgences to erase sins. In 1517, he nailed his 95 Theses to a church door, kicking off the Protestant Reformation. Luther knew the Bible could fuel his cause, but it needed to reach the people. In 1522, he translated the New Testament into German, using Gutenberg's press to print thousands of copies. For the first time, German farmers and shopkeepers held the scriptures in their hands. The church excommunicated Luther, calling his work blasphemous, but the damage was done. His Bible flew off the presses, selling faster than printers could produce it. Across Europe, people read it and began questioning Catholic rules. New Christian groups sprang up, breaking the church's unity. The Reformation split nations, sparked wars, and redrew borders, all because one book slipped free. Luther's success built on Gutenberg's invention, which kept evolving. Printers refined the press, making books cheaper and more common. The Bible led this wave, its pages spreading from Germany to France, Italy, and beyond. In England, Tyndale's efforts bore fruit decades later. By the early 1600s, the country's religious battles had shifted. King James I, ruling a divided land, decided to unify his people with a single Bible. In 1604, he ordered scholars to create a new English translation. They finished the King James Bible in 1611, blending Tyndale's work with other sources. Printers churned out copies, and the book entered homes across England. Unlike earlier translations located, it became the standard for English-speaking Christians. The Anglican Church supported it, but older bans on unapproved translations lingered. The King James Bible crossed the Atlantic, shaping faith in America and beyond. Its clear, precise language made it a lasting text, quoted in courts, schools, and pulpits for centuries. The Bible's escape from church control did more than split Christianity, it transformed how people lived. As it spread, literacy climbed. In Europe, parents taught children to read using the Bible's pages. Villages built schools to train young readers. Printers expanded their shops, flooding towns with books and pamphlets. Knowledge, once hoarded by monks, flowed freely. The Bible's words reached women, workers, and peasants, groups long excluded from learning. This surge in reading laid the groundwork for bigger changes. People who read the Bible began asking questions about faith, about power, about the world. Those questions reshaped politics too. The Reformation, sparked by Luther's Bible, fractured Europe's religious map. England broke from Rome in 1534, partly over Bible access. Kings and rebels alike used its verses to claim authority. In the 1700s, American colonists leaned on it to argue for freedom and justice. The Declaration of Independence echoed its ideas of rights and equality. Laws in the West, from trial by jury to human dignity, trace back to biblical roots. Philosophers like John Locke cited it, weaving its ethics into modern thought. The Bible's influence stretched far beyond churches, molding nations and their values. Even science owes it a debt. Reading the Bible encouraged people to seek truth for themselves. In the 1500s and 1600s, this mindset fed the age of reason. Thinkers like Galileo and Newton, raised on scripture, probed the natural world. The printing press, first used for the Bible, became the engine of discovery. Books on astronomy, math, and medicine followed, all riding the wave Gutenberg started. The Bible's breakout marked the dawn of an information age, where ideas could travel as fast as ink could dry. Today, the Bible's journey stands as a tale of defiance and victory. It began locked in Latin, its secrets kept by a powerful few. Translators like Tyndale and Luther risked death to set it free. The church burned books and bodies, desperate to hold power, yet the printing press outran them, carrying the Bible to every corner of the globe. Now it exists in over 3,000 languages, with billions of copies printed. No other book rivals its reach or staying power. Its history reveals a hard truth: societies will fight to control knowledge, but people will fight harder to claim it. The Bible's escape from banishment built the world we know, from classrooms to courtrooms, faith to freedom. That's the story of the Bible, a forbidden book that refused to stay silent. Its path through fire and ink changed humanity forever. What do you think about its legacy? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. If this tale gripped you, hit the like button and subscribe for more history unpacked. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.